All right, I'm finna plate up. I made some grits. And I made some shrimp. So this is like a Cajun shrimp situation. Shrimp in like a Cajun gravy. Yum. I want some more gravy. Top it off with a few more pieces of shrimp. And this is lunch. Shrimp and grits. Super easy. And I'll be back. Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Y'all, I'm on my phone, so I never know where to look. I don't know where the camera is. Who just trying to catch my breath. So I'm on a lunch. This took me about 20 minutes to prepare. So I got about 40 minutes. And I'm just, you know, once I neatly place the shrimp on the grits, I just stir it all up together. So good. It's perfect. I was thinking about this meal last night when I was laying in bed, because over the weekend, me and Larry was gonna cook fish and grits. We ended up having fish from the fish market, but then I did take my fish to my mom's and fried it. And we didn't do the grits because we had other sides. But I just had pickles and bread. But I still had this shrimp that I had taken out. And I was like, ooh, I gotta cook this shrimp. So it's so good. But while I was thinking about the shrimp and grits, I was thinking about what I was going to talk to y'all about today. And I was just reminiscing on childhood stuff. Ooh, y'all, this is spicy. So first of all, how many of you guys like grits? Everybody don't like grits. And for those who like grits, some people eat their grits with sugar, and some people eat with salt and pepper. Which one are you? I love just regular grits with butter, salt and pepper. That's how I grew up eating grits. And we would have like oatmeal. I think as a child, I must have ate oatmeal every day for breakfast. When I wasn't eating oatmeal, I would eat cold cereal. Like, my favorite was Apple Jacks, Captain Crunch. We ate Cheerios a lot. But I ate oatmeal way more. The old-fashioned oatmeal that you cook on the stove. So then when my son came along and started eating table food, he ate the oatmeal out the packs. And he liked the maple and brown sugar one, which I kind of did, but I love oatmeal. Regular, old-fashioned oats that you cook on the stove. And I was eating oatmeal a lot a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to get back. I had ran out of oatmeal. I'm going to get some more, because that's easy to make, take to work, reheat, and it's so filling. And I don't need nothing else to go with my oatmeal. I could eat a bowl of oatmeal by itself. I prefer unflavored oatmeal, just butter and sugar. But grits, I have to have something with it, like sausage, eggs, you know, like that. I don't do shrimp and grits very often. It's like just so good though. Another thing I was thinking about was, first of all, let me say this, Taco Tuesday. So today, Tuesday for me will always be Taco Tuesday. That's what I call it. But last week my friend said, Sandra said, you don't like tacos in the winter time, do you? And I don't. Maybe randomly I'll have a taste of tacos. I might just make some regular beef tacos or something. But there's this place my son was telling me about, because I love burrito tacos. I just recently made some. And that's just, I love burrito tacos. So he told me about this place that he had went to, and he said it was so good. He's like, Mom, you gotta try it. So that's on my list. I might do that this weekend. What am I doing this weekend? I don't know yet. But anyway, so I do not like tacos in the, you know, going out for Taco Tuesday in the wintertime. I don't like that. I don't do that. And then, do y'all feel the same way? For those of you who do Taco Tuesday. And then also what I eat in the wintertime that I don't eat in the summertime, that my friend also thought was kind of strange. It's ice cream. I'm on this big ice cream kick and I have got to stop. But, slow down. Because I think I have it every night. I've been having it every night. But anyway, butter pecan ice cream is my favorite. I love so many different flavors, but that one has to be my #1. And in the summertime, I don't ever want ice cream. And I've always been like that as a child, except for in the summertime when my mom used to make ice cream. Y'all, I'm old school, right? So, and some of y'all are too. I used to crank the, we used to take turns cranking that thing. They got the electric kind now, but I grew up where you just had to crank it till your arm got tired. And that used to be some of the best ice cream. But in the summertime, I do not crave ice cream. I never say, let's go get ice cream. You won't hear me say that in the summertime. But in the winter, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then I was thinking about childhood snacks. Like, what did y'all used to eat when y'all got home from school? I want to say almost every single day after school, I had peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that was my favorite. Peanut butter jelly sandwich and a cold glass of milk. And then they came out with that peanut butter and jelly that was in this jar. It's called Goober Grape. They had Goober Strawberry too, but you gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, I'm getting a call. But anyway, they got Goober Strawberry too. I can't believe this person's calling me. You know how that is, where it's like, anyway, I got distracted and slightly irritated. We gonna focus, y'all. We gonna focus. I didn't like the Goober Strawberry. One day my dad bought the Goober Strawberry. I was like, what? Because I tried it. I didn't like it. Like, we sticking to grape only. But I do like strawberry jelly. Isn't that weird? But I don't like strawberry peanut butter and jelly. I just like strawberry jelly on toast. And we used to do fried bologna. Did y'all do that? And that bologna would curl up. Put it on some bread with nothing else on it, just that. That used to be so good. So, when we would have grits was like a thing that my mom did on Saturdays. And I don't remember if it was every Saturday. I don't think it was. I think we did cereal mostly, but regularly, regularly, we would have a spread. Remember I told y'all that sometimes my mom would do a spread for dinner, breakfast, but on Saturday morning sometimes she would too. Bread, sausage, and she would make her own biscuits, homemade, like roll it out and all that. And I never took to that. Like, I've never in my life made homemade biscuits. I made the biscuits where they're in the box and you just add whatever, but my mom would make them from scratch. Be the best biscuits. The best biscuits. And growing up, and I like to cook. You guys see that I like to cook a lot. I've always liked to cook as an adult. But growing up, I was never in the kitchen with my mom. Yeah, I'm getting full already, and I haven't even eaten half of this. I think I made that bowl kind of big. And shrimp is so filling. It's like a great source of protein. And it's so filling. But my mom used to get on me. She was like, come in here and learn how to do it. And I would be outside playing. But my sister was always in the kitchen with her. My sister's a good cook. My brother's a good cook. We are cooks in our family. Like, we all know how to cook. But mom was worried about me. She was like, you ain't gonna know how to cook. But I just instinctively knew how to cook. Some kind of way I was paying attention when I wasn't. Because I did not want to be in that kitchen. I lived on the street where we had a lot of kids. Like on our block and a couple blocks over. And we would all get together in the corner. It was a game room, you know, like with arcade games. And that was just a hangout. Or we would be in the streets. Like, I'm old school to where we used to play kickball. I used to climb trees. I was a tomboy. I did not want to be in the house cooking. So those memories are just so awesome. What else? I wrote some stuff down because I want y'all to tell me your favorite childhood memories or your favorite afternoon snack that when you grew up, or even currently. Currently, my favorite snack is ice cream. I don't snack throughout the day. Sometimes I do at work, but not usually. Not usually. One day I was at work and I was feeling stressed out because it gets like that sometimes. And I was just like, oh, I want some ice cream. And I just said it out loud, and one of my coworkers went down to Hy-Vee and got some ice cream. Bought me a pint of ice cream. And it just soothed my soul, and I was able to just do my job. So that's my current favorite snack. What else did I write? Oh, okay, I talked about the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, that was serious for me. Like, and as an adult, I still like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But I went through this phase, and it was literally just a phase. And y'all, we just talking, right? It's lunchtime. I went through this phase where I started getting indigestion from peanut butter. Like, peanuts, when I would eat peanuts, it felt like it was like getting stuck in my throat or my chest or indigestion. I developed a peanut allergy out of nowhere. You know, that can happen as an adult. You can just develop an allergy that you didn't have. But then it went away. And I can eat. I have to be careful though. Like, I don't just want to eat a whole bunch of peanuts or peanut butter. I probably could eat a peanut butter, but I haven't tried it. But peanuts don't bother me no more, so I don't know. But otherwise, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich just kind of does sound good right now. Oh, so since we're talking about food, like, okay, let me tell you this. I don't know if I told y'all these stories. Y'all know I've been on YouTube forever, but growing up, both my parents are from the same small town in Evergreen, Alabama. But they were about an hour apart, but it was just two small towns. And as a reference, I think the nearest city is Mobile. Like, we would fly there, we would fly into Mobile. But we did road trips. I'm a road trip girl. that 17-hour drive every summer. But anyway, I'm not a road trip girl now. My longest road trip could probably be like 5 to 8 hours, and then I'm so over it. So they're from the South, and so they grew up with gardens and all that. So when they moved up here, we always had a garden in my backyard. Like, our backyard was a garden. I didn't go out and play in my backyard. That's not where I played. I played outside in the streets, down at the corner store. I didn't have a backyard where we had a swing set and we played. Our backyard was a garden. And a clothesline. We had to get the clothes off the clothes, hang the clothes up on the clothesline, get the clothes off the clothesline. So anyway, I grew up with a garden. My dad had a piece of land, so we had even a bigger garden, and we would have to go regularly to harvest and pick the peas and pick the greens, and it was so annoying for me as a child, to the point where greens in our house was a staple. It was a staple side dish. It was at the table for almost every meal. Collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens. My mom would mix them, and everybody loved her greens, to the point to this day I don't even like greens. When we have dinners or whatever, I might get just a scoop of them because they're so good for you, but I don't like them. I grew up not even like, I love vegetables now, but I didn't like cabbage. Get out of here. Like, and now cabbage is one of my favorites. So we had lots and lots and lots of homegrown vegetables. And as far as meats, my dad he hunted. He was an avid fisherman and a hunter. And we ate fish all the time. And I loved fish, but he would hunt for deer, goat, squirrel, rabbit, pheasant. And he, when my dad moved from the South to the North, he worked at a packing plant. So he knew how to chop that meat down. You know, like today, if you go catch a deer, you could take it somewhere and they can chop it down and you can get the steaks from it and all that. My dad knew how to, he did all of that. So we had a deep freeze down the basement, and we would have, that's where they stored all their meat. So, man, we didn't have chicken a lot. We had squirrel, which I thought, my mom tricked me. I thought I was always eating chicken. So apparently I like squirrel, but you could not pay me today to eat that. So that's how I grew up. And then also on Sundays, let me tell you about my Sunday. Sunday fun day is what we call it now. Some people call it soul food Sunday, because traditionally we would have big meals. So how my mom cooks dinner every Sunday now and have people over, and there's no invite. You just go. And it's not always family. It's like people who have known us for years. They know my mom is at home cooking or eating, or we're there, right? Somebody's always over there on Sunday. Okay. So, Sundays at my house. First of all, I'm going to stop this video and start over in case it stops, because I've been talking for a while. This is going to be a long one. Okay, I'm back. I'm just drinking some cold water. The only time I like drinking water is if I'm working out. So when I was in my workout zone and always working out, I was always drinking water. Excuse me, always drinking water. But just to grab some water, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm trying to figure out, do I like it with ice? Do I like it without ice? Do I like it from temperature? Do I like it slightly chilled? It varies. And I don't know. I'm just getting, I don't have no goal of how much I'm drinking. I just know I need to be drinking it. So anyway, growing up, we went to church every Sunday. So, you know, like at Easter, everybody's getting, you know, for those of us who traditionally went to church. Like traditionally at Easter, and it's still a thing now, but when I grew up, it was a huge big deal. You know, Easter Sunday was, you know, you get your best dress, your best bow tie, you know, hair pressed and all that. Well, my mom, every Saturday was getting ready for Easter at my house, growing up as a kid. We got our hair pressed out. We got, you know, what we was wearing. My mom ironed our slips. They don't even wear slips no more, but my mom ironed our slips. She ironed our t-shirts. Me and my sister was dressed, and my brother too, but we was dressed, matching everything. And but not just us, it was like all the little kids, all the little kids. It was like every Sunday was like Easter in terms of that, the lace and the bows, and just dressed up. Like you dressed up to go to church on Sunday is how I grew up. And my favorite part about church on Sundays was, I like looking out this window because there's some people out here working, and when they pass by my house, I like to see where they went. But anyway, our pastor lived, I want to say 2 or 3 houses down from the church. So Sunday school is my favorite part about church. I just loved Sunday school. When it was time to go up to church, I would probably fall asleep or something, but because they didn't have children's church. But I loved Sunday school because it was so engaging, and you know, interact with my little church friends. But the pastor was a couple of doors down, and so after Sunday school, there was like a 30-minute break before regular church started, and there was like a store down the street. So some people, why is he in my yard? He just cut straight across my yard to go to my neighbor's yard. Let me focus. There was like a store, so we couldn't go to the store. My mom, we could not go to that store. We had to stay right there in the vicinity. And but we would go to the pastor's house, and he had an indoor porch, and it was open. And we would just go in there, sit in that indoor porch, and he had 3 daughters. And we would wait for them, because they was in Sunday school with us too, but then they would run home and do something or whatever, and then we would wait for them to come on the porch, and the pastor's wife would give us candy. And we would have candy in church and say, oh, they used to be so much fun. And I'm trying to think what those girls' names was. Charlene, Rita, and Carla, the pastor's daughters. And man, it was just so much fun. So then after church, we would gather, congregate, be out in that parking lot forever, just talking and talking and talking. My mom just talked to everybody. Then we would come home and have a huge Sunday dinner. And my family would come over. And that stayed our family tradition for many, many, many years to this day. To this day, literally. I mean, COVID stopped us from going to church, but my mom was still going to church, coming home, cooking dinner. Not as big and not as, it wasn't the same. Where it switched up at was, this is so funny to me. When we became older, my cousins and stuff, Sunday, we wanted to do something different. We wanted Sunday fun day, but we wanted to be able to, after we eat, have some drinks. Now, we're in our 20s now, you know what I'm saying? 30s or whatever. We grown. And we don't want to just sit here. We didn't heard all the Alabama stories. And I had an aunt who, she's passed away now. She would remix her stories. Because she knew we had heard all the stories, so she started making up stories. And my mom would be like, now you know that did not happen. And she was an amazing storyteller. She would just have our undivided attention. And that was the favorite part about dinner, listening to all of their stories when they were growing up, right? My mom and her siblings. And so my cousins stopped coming over. Or they would come and eat and leave. But then it did get to a point where they just stopped coming over because now they got their own family. They doing their own Sunday fun day thing or whatever. And mom kind of felt some kind of way. And so I had to tell her, I said, well, first of all, you don't allow games. Like, we couldn't play dominoes or cards. And that's how it was in Alabama to my uncle's house. See, you ain't finna play no card game at his house. So traditional. Couldn't play games. Like, sit and play a card game or dominoes, or definitely couldn't have no drinks. You definitely wasn't gonna smoke. So they didn't want to come over. They was doing their own fun. And so I had to tell my mom that one day. And so then I kind of revised it. I was like, Mom, and this has been years ago. I was like, Mom, come on, we're going to be on the back patio. Y'all could be in here. You know, people want to come over, but they also want to, you know, have a drink. And she was adamant, like, nope, this is my house. These are my rules, like that. But then she saw where, okay, sometimes tradition, it's okay to be traditional, but like I've always said, it has to make sense. Nobody's being loud and obnoxious. Just still having fun. The family's still getting together, you know. So now we can. And not even necessarily on the back porch. I can make a drink at I can go to my mom's house and make strawberry daiquiris. Because what's most important is that we're there, right? So she had to come to that. So, but yeah, Sundays have just, my Sundays have always been so rich with family and rich with, tradition. So I didn't keep that tradition. Let me see, when I got married to my son's father, we went to church every Sunday, came home and cooked. But it was just us. There was no extended family. I lived in Michigan. There was no extended family. So it was totally different. What else I want to tell you about my childhood? I don't know why I decided to do this. Like I said, I was reminiscing. So I went to, for those of you who are from Omaha that are watching this vlog, I know a few of you guys, Regina. So I grew up at Mount Moriah Baptist Church. I was born into that church. My mom was pregnant with me and had all three of her children at that church. L.C. Williams was our pastor. Was it L.C. Williams or J.C. Williams? I don't know. He's long since been deceased, I think. And long since moved out of Omaha. So I was 13 years old, 12 or 13 years old when he moved out of Omaha. Him and he moved his whole family to Ohio. And we was devastated. We was shook. We was just like, because we was just such a family and so close to his family. So then some kind of way, we all went over to St. Mark Baptist Church. And the pastor there, Reverend Clemens, he has since passed away, was the pastor. And funny, loved him. And then Pastor Burton. And he has since passed away. But my family is still at that church. My mom, my aunts, my cousins. Not all my cousins. I have a couple of cousins that belong to a different type of, they're not Baptist. So they go to a different church, but we are still members of that church. And I left church for years, for like 10 years. I just started going back to church 18, 19, 20, 3 years ago. And I haven't been back since COVID. Things are just so different. I don't know about that part. But what I love is that the tradition and the history and the richness that I grew up on, being raised in church. There's just no comparison to it. I love it so much. I love that so much. So I think that's it, y'all. I think I'm done rambling. What time is it? Okay, I'm not late. I was gonna say, I've been sitting here running my mouth and I gotta get back online. I got a doctor's appointment, not doctor's. I got a dentist appointment today to get my teeth clean, and I can't wait to go because it's time. I was supposed to get them done in August. and how I missed that appointment was. This is how I missed this appointment. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but I just feel like talking. I missed my dentist appointment because when it was time for me to get my teeth cleaned, I had a toothache. So when I went in to address the toothache, they fixed what was wrong. Some enamel or something came out, so it was just exposed. They filled that in. And then they acted like that was my slot. So you got to make another appointment to get your teeth cleaned. And December 7th was the only opening, so I had to sacrifice get my teeth cleaned to get that thing filled. Craziness. But anyway, what else do I want to talk about? I think that's everything. Oh, I wrote this down. When I was growing up, were y'all like this as kids? Just some of y'all might be like this now. I did not like my food to touch. If my mom put some greens on my plate and that green juice ran into the cornbread, I wouldn't even eat it. I don't even like cornbread. I don't like corn. The way I make my cornbread is way different than the way my mom made her cornbread. My mom makes old school cornbread. I don't like that kind of cornbread. So y'all, a lot of times I didn't even eat dinner. Y'all, it is so funny. The mailman just put the mail in the mailbox, and he sneaks, like he goes real quiet, so he won't disrupt him, because my dog cannot stand the mail. Most dogs don't like the mailman. Yeah, I think I want another dog. I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. It sounds so crazy, but oh, she was asleep. But he sneaks. He don't want to hear her mouth. He gone, Fin. But a lot of times at the dinner table, y'all, I would just sit there. And my mom was one of those moms, I'm sure you guys can relate. You know how like kids nowadays, they have options for what they want for dinner. If they didn't want what mom cooked, they can do something. Not at my house. My mom was like, this is what's for dinner, and that's it. Even if it, I couldn't even make a peanut butter. I couldn't do nothing different. I had to eat what she fixed. So when I came home from school, a lot of times I would have a peanut butter. I would make 2 sandwiches because I knew I wasn't going to eat again. I didn't never like what my mom cooked for dinner. And she cooked dinner every day. I mean, and we didn't have leftovers. There was no leftovers. 3 kids and a mom and dad. She cooked enough for us to eat and she cooked every day. And I would just sit there, and she would let me sit there as long as she just got tired of looking at me, I guess. And I would just get up and go to bed without eating, but I wasn't hungry. I would just pick at it. So yeah, I just thought that was so funny. And she'd tell you, she said, I used to get on her last nerves when it came to, and I was so picky about everything, but I'm not anymore. I like everything now. A lot of things that I didn't like as a child, I absolutely like now, especially those vegetables. What else? Okay, y'all, another thing that I thought about from my childhood that I want to share with y'all, I think is so interesting, and I just changed the band. I was wearing this band for a really long time, and I didn't put this band on, this green band, because I'm wearing a green shirt. It has nothing to do with it. But while I'm talking about this shirt, I want to say to Sam. So yesterday, I posted a video, the one that I did about my talk, right? Sharing about, it's called Survive Holiday Blues. I did a quick haul, thrift haul, and I showed this skirt. I said, I'm picturing a Kelly green, like a big thick cable sweater, oversized Kelly green, and this is the color I had in mind. So can you picture that? And so and I just found this shirt because in my mind I'm thinking you might have a Kelly green sweater, but I don't. But I found this shirt and I'm like, this is just some old random shirt, and it's a summertime. Excuse me, it's a summertime. I have a you know, a tank under it. I'm not going anywhere until my appointment at 3:30. So, we're in the summertime. But Sam said when I showed that skirt, she said she pictured a cobalt blue sweater. First of all, I don't know that I have ever worn that color. I don't have anything that color. But I love that shade of blue. I'm not a blue person. I don't like the color blue. I don't hate it, but cobalt blue just sounds so rich. So that is what I'm going to look for. That is what I am going to look for. But another thing I thought about my childhood that I thought was so interesting, and I've never thought about this before. This never dawned on me before, except for the school part, and I'll tell you about that. But the church part, and I talk about, that's one of my most favorite memories of growing up, is going to church on Sunday and the richness of it all. Such an amazing foundation that my parents gave to us. And I didn't give that back to my son. Like, he was born in church, but he doesn't have the stories that I have. I actually left the church for 10 years. And so for a long time, we just didn't go to church. And I'm back to not going to church. And obviously COVID has a lot to do with that, but church is back open. And I haven't made my way back. But yeah, that's another, that ain't even another video, that's just another thing. But anyway, because I don't know, a lot of things have changed, even in my thinking. And a lot of things have just changed, and that's what happens. Things change. I mean, even Easter, when I was talking about Easter, do people still get all dressed up and decky-do for Easter? People don't even dress up to go to church anymore. Like, that's not a thing. And when I was going to church, like even now, I would wear jeans to church, and my mom cringes when I show up at church with jeans on. She cringes. I remember one time recently, probably 2019, we had this event, and it was like for heart health awareness, and we all had to wear red, and I had on some jeans and a red top, and Mom was like, Synette, if you didn't have a red dress, you could have told me. I said, I got a red dress. I got a red suit. Yep, and I got a red skirt. And this is what I wanted to wear. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not down for all that dressing up. That has, people still do that, but I don't think it's nowhere near how it was when we grew up. So things have changed. So I didn't give that tradition to my son, but I raised him in church the best I could. So I gave him a solid foundation. But what I thought about just now, I talked about my neighbors, my neighborhood, kids everywhere. There was only one family that lived across the street, like 3 houses down on the other side of the street. They went to the church that was on the corner. It was a Baptist church on the corner. We didn't go to that church, but that was the only other family that I grew up with that went to church. We were the only ones that went to church. And we were the only family that had dinner on Sundays as a family together. And outside of that family that I'm talking about, the only family that I was the only kid that had my dad at home. And I grew up with a public school being up the street. But before you got to that public school, we didn't do busing. Busing came along later, but we walked to school. And it didn't matter how cold it got. It didn't matter how much it snowed. They didn't cancel school when it snowed when I was growing up. And y'all know y'all could relate to that. We walked. We put on our boots and we walked up the hill, and we gathered like kids. Like, it would be a group of us walking to school. But before you got to that public school, there was a Catholic school. And me and my brother and sister, we were the only kids in my neighborhood that went to that school. And I always, growing up, I always thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, my dad wanted us to go to the Catholic school. We're not Catholic, but I grew up. We went to Mass every Sunday. I grew up in the Catholic school. And then, every Wednesday we had Mass. And but then we went to a Baptist church. And so the kids in my neighborhood, they kind of thought our family was different. They didn't, we all still had fun, but they was, why do you go to that school? And I would try to get the kids to come to church with me. When we have events, they would, though, they would come. But I don't know, it was just so different. But I thought that was very, very interesting. And then I started off sending my son to a Catholic school. He went to a Catholic school for the kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And I went up until by the time I got into 6th grade, I was like, I cannot anymore with this school. I want to go to the public school. I want to walk to school with my friends like that. So then that's when I started walking to school, and we went to public school, whatever. Thought that was so interesting. You guys, I had such a rich childhood. A rich childhood. Anyway, that's all I got. Okay, guys, so that's it. Thanks for those of you who were concerned about me. Oh, before I say that, before I tell you guys thank you. So, a few years ago, this has probably been a while ago, I wanted another dog. I've been having my dog now. She is, and y'all know I had the 2 dogs. I had 2 boxers. So my ex-husband has the other boxer, and she was really, really bad. And she was such a puppy, and just, it was way too much work. So you can have her, and I'll keep baby girl, because she's so low maintenance. But she's 12 now, so she's getting older. But a few years ago, I was like, the next dog I get, I want a Rottweiler. And I've said that throughout the years. I want a Rottweiler. I want a Rottweiler. But then I also said, after my dog passes, this is going to be the last dog that I have, because they're a lot of work, and I'm not home a lot, but she's totally fine being here. She's not kenneled. She's never been kenneled. In fact, we rescued her from out of a kennel where that's all she did was stay in a kennel. So we, made the decision. She's never going to be in a kennel. Of course, when, we had to travel and leave her at a kennel, but this house, she has free reign of this house, and she only has her area. Like, she stays in her spot in the living room. But I just said, my next dog, I want a Rott. Y'all, there was this lady walking down the street the other day, and she had 2 Rotts. One was clearly a puppy, because the puppies, you can't tell they're puppies, they're huge. But puppy, and then the other one was more mature. And I was like, it was almost like I had baby fever. You know how you see a baby like, oh, I want this baby. It was like that. And in my mind, I'm trying to justify, like, okay, I'm busy a lot. I feel like my dog is lonely. She's not. She's so content. She's like a cat. Like, she don't really want to be bothered. She does. She likes to get pet, and I rub her and stuff, but I was like, oh, if I got a dog for her, and then, a younger dog, because they're great protection for the house. Great protection, but, and then, of course, there's other protections. But, I'm thinking about it. Not gonna make no rash moves. Maybe springtime, summertime, I'll see how I still feel. But I've always wanted a Rottweiler. I want it to be definitely not a puppy. And I definitely want a rescue. So, but like, out of the puppy stage, so 3 and up, or anywhere from 3 to 7 years old. That sounds perfect. I mean, in human years, 3 to 7, because they still got, you know, my dog is just like lazy bones now. Y'all see how the sun has moved? It's kind of, I don't know if it's brighter, but I see a reflection. But I just want to say thank you for all of you who commented about the video that I left the other day called Surviving Holiday Blues. And I was blue. I was blue, but I'm okay. I was okay then, but I was just having a transparent moment. And I tend to do that. I'm very transparent. And I've been criticized before from people that I know personally. They say, you share a lot on Facebook. You share a lot on your YouTube channel. I couldn't do that. And that's totally fine that you can't. That's just who I am. And I don't share everything. Some things I hold, right? But my ultimate goal and the ultimate purpose is to always resonate with someone else, to help someone else. That's who I am. That's what I do. Because there's always someone, and people can go on the internet and they can hear a video about surviving holiday blues, but we all have our people that we like to watch. Like, I remember one time I was looking for a recipe, and I don't remember what the food I was trying to cook. Something that I had never made before. And so I put it out there on Facebook. Who has a good recipe for this? And then somebody got irritated by my question, and they said, you can easily go to Google and get hundreds of recipes, or go to YouTube and get hundreds of recipes. And so then my response was, I want a recipe from someone that I know, someone that I'm on social media with, because there's a lot of people that I'm on this social media platform with that cooks. So yeah, I can go get someone's video that I'm unfamiliar with, but it would be so fun to use a recipe that one of my friends have made, right? So I was just like taken back by that comment. And so it's the same thing when I share. Yes, you can go on YouTube to get help on how to survive the holiday blues, but I have a whole social media audience that one of you would love to know what I have to say, or would also love to know that I am human. Y'all know me now, a lot of you. I've got a lot of new people too though, but that I'm human. And you would receive it from me better than someone that you just randomly came across their video. So there's a method to my madness, right? I love to motivate other people. I love to inspire other people. I love to make an impact, and in doing so, sometimes I have to show my human side, and be transparent. And I don't have a problem doing that. And I said that to say, somebody left a comment, and I didn't know the person. I didn't recognize. You know, a lot of you I know from being familiar with. But they said that the suggestion was to pray, to always pray, and to go to therapy. That was a suggestion for me. And so I want to say this because maybe you don't know. So I talk about school all the time. I talk about homework all the time. And I know I've mentioned that I'm going to school to be a mental health therapist. Like, I'm literally going to school to be a licensed therapist. And so part of our deal is we have to stay in therapy. And it's group therapy, but if I have a need to break off individually, I have that at my disposal. But we call them growth groups, and they're amazing. And so I get to talk about what I'm going through. You know, I could have just left it there, but I put it on YouTube. So I am in therapy, in a sense. My life, my homework, everything I do is related to mental health therapy. So I don't think that person knew that. I haven't responded to all my comments yet. But then the suggestion of praying. I live in a state of prayer. There's no time where, of course, in the morning you pray, at night you say your prayers, but throughout the day, I am in communion with God. I think that's why I talk so much. I don't know, because I talk to God all day, every day. Totally do. And I'm not perfect or none of that. And the things that I need to work on, me and God, we deal with it regularly. I could be so stubborn in areas. And there's a song, what is that song that talks about how God is your counselor. He corrects you when you're wrong and all that. Yeah. And I honestly work on things that I know I need to work on and fall short a lot. Get back up, try again. So I live in a state of prayer. So that suggestion obviously came from someone who doesn't know me, and that's totally fine. That's why you came to my channel. Listening to my channel, you're gonna get to know me. And I've said this before. Y'all, I don't know, my internet, I'm gonna have to reset my computer. I don't know what's going on. I got a call that's gonna come in. But this is who I am. Nobody's gonna ever come to my YouTube channel, and I don't broadcast that I make YouTube videos. One girl found out at work, and then she started telling everybody. I didn't even want them to know, because it's like a private life, but it's not private. It's like a life outside of work. And people that you work with, if you see them outside of work, it might be different, or it might not be. I don't know, but there's nobody that can come to my YouTube channel and watch my content and say, she doesn't seem like that doesn't seem like the same person. No, this is who I am in real life. None of my friends, family, nobody would be shocked that I'm doing this, or the content, or how I talk so much, or that part might surprise people, because I don't talk a lot all the time. In my social settings, I do. At work, I usually don't. I can't get online. I gotta go, you guys, because I can't get online, and I am running just a few minutes behind now. But I said a lot, but I just want to say thank you for those who are concerned. I am totally okay, even though I'm grieving. I'm grieving in the most healthiest way as possible, because what I don't want to do, and I don't want you to do if you're grieving or hurting, is to cover it up and suppress it and do things to try to dull the pain. Feel the pain. Get through it. Because healing, I always say healing is a lifelong process. I don't think we're going to ever get to a place, I've said it before and it's so true, that you're completely healed. You might be healed from that instance. You might learn tools along the way, which I have, to help you with your next crisis or situation. But we're all going to be healing. And the most, I don't know the word, rewarding feeling of satisfaction is when you know you are truly healing. And it takes time. Because what'll happen is, y'all see how I just keep going? I'm trying to get off this. What'll happen is, you will, that unhealed stuff, unresolved stuff, emotional stuff, baggage, is going to show up again. It'll show up in places, in relationships, with people, on the job. And it'll be so toxic because you didn't heal. As opposed to if you heal, now when you encounter people, they get you. They get your authentic self. They get the healed you. Wounded maybe? Yeah. But healed. Scars? Yeah, but healed. Like I got scars, right? I got scars, but they're healed. There ain't gonna be no surprise where this gash is open and bleeds all over somebody. It is completely healed, but it left a mark. And this mark just tells a story that can then help you or whoever I come across. I'm losing my voice. I need to drink this water and get offline. Maybe that could be a next topic. I don't know, you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next one.